Hi, this is Tracy from GiftBasketappeal, and today we're going to make a fall themed card using this gorgeous napkin. Look at this. So, let's get started. This card is going to be an A2 size card, and I'm going to give it a little bit of dimension. I'm going to take some of the leaves, or maybe one of the leaves, and just cut it out and kind of have a raised effect on that, just to make it a little bit so it's not so flat, basically. And I'm going to use this as my base. I love this light brown color. I think that'll go good with my napkin. And we're going to use this part here, which is a little bit smaller, and that's what our napkin is going to be applied on. So let's take a look at this napkin, and it is really pretty. So what I have to decide is how I'm going to use, what part of the napkin I'm going to use. So I'm thinking about, I could have my sentiment over on this side, because the sentiment I'm going to be using is from May May Made It, and this is called Memory Lane, but it has the sentiment Autumn Blessings, so I thought that would be perfect. Okay, and this napkin, I did not get it from the Dollar Tree, but I'm sure they have fall themed napkins there. This one, I believe I got it from Kroger supermarket, in their supermarket section. I think it was like discounted, so I said, let me get a few of these. I mean, they were really discounted. So I think I bought them around the off season, but I've had them for like maybe 2 or 3 years. So I'm going to possibly pick this area right here, for my artwork. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to just cut this out before I separate this napkin. I don't even have the packaging for this because I use these napkins for I think I used them for like Thanksgiving. And I also used a similar napkin to cover some bottles. So I will post that tutorial in the description box so you can see it. I did some fall themed bottles. But fall is one of my absolutely favorite seasons with the holidays coming up. So I will really like this area right here. And so what I'm going to do is, let's see, because I'm really liking this. Go this way. I think it's better off like this when I get it on my card. So let's see what that looks like. I'm just going to cover this area because I need to use some of this glue. And so I'm just using the Craft Bond from Elmer's. It's an extra strength. I'm going to take this particular cardstock and I'm going to apply some glue very liberally on there. And you want to make, the best thing for this technique is that it's all covered up, like really covered. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just start at the top and just work my way down. And you just want to make sure everything is covered. So I can kind of, if I tilt it slightly, I can see some spaces that I might have left out. You want to make sure that the sides are really covered pretty good. It's going to get a little bit sticky, but this is so much fun. There's so much you can do making these napkin cards. Okay, so now that I have that, and I actually should have separated this, but that's okay. I'm going to take my napkin and separate it. You don't need that backing on there, so you just want to take that off and just be gentle. And I usually cut my napkin first and then take off the backing. Just makes it a lot easier. Okay. But these cards are so much fun to make. Okay, so I'm going to flip it over, and I just have to remember I want this part over here. on my card. So the nice thing is you can pick and choose what area you want. I think right here should be good. And I'm just flipping this around. The glue is on the other side of my cardstock. And now I'm just going to rub it in. You want your napkin to be slightly bigger than your cardstock so that you can go back and really cut it down to fit. Okay. And make sure your hands are not sticky. Mine are a little bit sticky, but you want to make sure your hands are not sticky so that it doesn't adhere to your hands and rip your napkin. Okay, so I'm going to lift that up and look how smooth that is. It's almost like a cloth. It feels like a cloth finish on there. Okay, so now I'm going to go and cut this off. And you want to be gentle when you're cutting this. Just take your time. I'm just taking my time with this. And as usual, I will list the sizes below and all of the supplies that I use. I'll list it in the description box. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Look how neat that is. And I haven't even mounted it on here yet. And look how pretty already. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. And remember, I was saying that I wanted to bring this leaf out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another piece of my napkin. And I'm going to look for that exact leaf. And so this one right here is kind of covered up. And you could probably still use that, but I want the exact leaf. So I'm going to cut this part out right here. Yep, I'm going to cut that out. And for right now, I'm saving all my pieces of my napkins because I can go back and make more cards. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to cut it like this for right now. And then I'm going to go back and fussy cut it. And remember, I want to get it on here. You need another piece of paper or another piece of cardstock to mount this on there, and it'll give it a thicker effect, and I can mount it actually on my leaf on this card. So you'll see what I'm talking about once I get it on here. Okay, so all I'm doing is just going to take an area of this, and you might want to go ahead and pull it apart. I keep forgetting that step. Pull your napkin apart first and then apply it. Just like that. Okay, let me make sure I got this covered here. And it just adds another element to your card, which is pretty cool. And I'm not really worried about the stem. And I'm just using my hands to kind of spread this on. I'm doing it very lightly. Very gently. And see, once that's on, now I can go back and cut it all out. Just fussy cutting it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and then I'll come back. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's all cut out. And that's the one I'm going to place over this. I'm going to put some mounting squares on it, and it'll have that 3D effect. Okay, so for right now, I'm going to just go ahead and take this and put it on here. And I love this crafter's tape, the AdTech crafter's tape. It's just easy to handle, and it's a permanent tape. Now I could mount this on here also, on the card base, but I'm not going to do that. But if you wanted to do that, you could. Okay. And this is just, I'm so excited about this. Look how pretty that looks. Just line that up on there. And look at that. Okay, now for my sentiment, I need to show you what I'm going to do. Let's put this aside for a moment. I was playing around with just some plain white scraps of cardstock that I had. And I was just playing around with them, and I decided that I would take some of my Memento inks and just kind of drag it across the paper just to change the color. I couldn't decide which color, but then I said, you know what, this has a color that's somewhat, it doesn't stand out as much, but I thought it would look really pretty with the sentiment on there. So I am going to put my Autumn Blessings sentiment right on this. And I'm going to do it in black because I want it to be really, really stand out against that. This is called Pistachio. So it's kind of a greenish color, and it matches this perfectly. So you can alter your paper to match your card. It doesn't have to stay that color. You can color it however you want. Okay, and this is the perfect sentiment, Autumn Blessings. I'm just going to stamp it just like that and then cut it out. Okay, and I'm just going to cut this right along here. I'm not sure how big I want it. Cut that off. And let's see. Cut this down just a little bit more. And so that's what I have so far. And let's give that a little bit of a border around there. Just going to take my Copic and just give it, I'm just using the brown, using all my autumn colors. This is where I get to really start thinking autumn-like. So I hope you're getting some ideas from this. Just a little bit more. Okay, and that's going to be, I'm going to probably put this somewhere over here. I think that'll look nice. Okay, so let's see what we can do with that. I'm going to pop that right on there. And look at this, these 3D foam squares. I got these from Maymay's store. They're self-adhesive white, and there are some smaller ones and some larger ones. And there's 217 pieces in there too. So I'll make sure I put this below. And they are really sticky. These are not coming off once you adhere this to your card. And I thought it would be nice right around here. Just right there. Yep. And then I'm going to take this and put it right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and mount that on there. I'm going to use some of these. Okay, and I'm just going to put this right over my other leaf. And look how pretty that is. Now it looks like it's got a little bit of a 3D effect on there just by mounting some of your pieces. And you can do that for all of, as many of the leaves as you want. Okay, and I feel like I need some stitching. You know how I feel about my stitching, so it's going to come in a little bit closer there. And I'm just going to go in this lighter part here. And this right here is the Uniball Signo pen, and this is red, and I absolutely love the way it's going on here. And I just started using this pen today, this particular one. I usually use the white one, but this is perfect because of the fall or autumn colors. Putting a little bit of stitching. I love this part because I get to add little details on these cards. So this is like the part that I love. Once everything is mounted and I can really look at it and see what else I want to add. And you can do that. It's just one of those things I do. I don't know if you do that too. Just kind of take a look at it and say, hey, you know what? I can add something else to this. And I'm really loving the way this is coming out. I think I'm going to put a little bit of stitching right on here too. Why not? Okay, and there you go with that. And let's see what else we could add to this. I'm going to use my stickles on this. And I'm going to outline my leaf here. Just adding a little bit right around the edge there. Maybe do that line right there and maybe just that stem. Look how, let's see if you can really see that. How pretty that is. And now I'm just going to take a little bit and go right along here. Just to add some sparkle. And you could pick out different parts of these leaves and do the same kind of effect. Like I can do this right here at the bottom. I can just go right in just around the border of the leaf. And just add some dimension to this. And look how cute that is. And I think we're almost done here. I do have a few of these. Let's see. Just have to see sometimes if you want to add anything else. I'm going to add these in. I like them. Sequins. Okay, let's see if we can get this going here. Okay, so we're going to just add a few of these on here, just the 3. I like to do these in 3s or 5s, an uneven number. My sequins don't want to work with me today. Okay. And look at that. I really like the way that stitching just kind of Just kind of brings out a little bit in this card. And let me show you the other one that I did, because I always like to do kind of a practice card sometimes, if I have the time. And look at this one. And you just need to give the stickles a little bit of time to dry, maybe about 20 minutes. And so I didn't add any of the sequins to this one. And you can make it as plain as you want, but I did do the outlining. And I just did, now the artwork, most of the leaves are on this side rather than like how I did it on this other side here. But look how cute that is. I'm just going to kind of span this camera out a little bit so you can see. And that's my 2 cards. I really hope you like these and you got some inspiration. Start looking for those napkins, fall-inspired napkins. They're going to be in the stores. I would think they're probably already in the stores. So my eye is going to be immediately drawn to anything that's fall-themed napkins. So I hope you like this. I hope you were inspired. I thought I would just turn on my camera and share this with you because I was having so much fun. And I hope you had fun joining me. I really appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.